User tutorial for handheld laser welding system 1. Packaging standard material details. This is the serial number specific to each handheld laser welding machine. Open the box, take out the foam cover, and take out the 3-layer foam box in turn. There is a packing list, a factory inspection report, a quick guide, and a product certificate. This layer is the welding head and the wire feed assembly. This layer is the handheld welding controller and display kit. This layer is the switching power supply kit and accessories package. 2. Accessories package details. 1 alligator clip included. 2 open-ended wrenches. 3 protective lenses, welding-related copper nozzles, 1 inner corner welding nozzle, 2 general welding wire feeding nozzles 1.2 mm, 1 general welding wire feeding nozzle 1.6 mm, 1 outer corner welding nozzle, 1 outer corner wire feeding nozzle 1.2 mm, 1 outer corner wire feeding nozzle 1.6 mm, and 1 copper wire feeding nozzle is 1 mm, 1.2 mm and 1.6 mm, a set of cutting nozzles, including the cutting nozzle base and cutting nozzle. A welding seam cleaning nozzle. 3. Wire feeder accessories details. The machine is equipped with a checklist. 1 4-core cable and 1 wire feeder handle. 1 4-meter wire feeding hose and 2 V-shaped wire feeding rollers from 0.8 to 1 mm have been installed. 1.2 mm to 1.6 mm V-type wire feed rollers 2, 1 wire feed nozzle, 1 copper nozzle. 4. Wire feeding hose assembly tutorial. The dedicated wire feeder for Raytool's handheld laser welding system consists of a wire feeder, a wire feeding hose wire feeder, and a wire feeding assembly. When using, firstly rotate and fix the wire feeding nozzle to the end of the wire feeding hose with the nut, then insert the copper nozzle into the wire feeding nozzle, and then slowly pass through the wire feeding window under the front of the wire feeder, and loosen the front end screw of the wire feeding tray. Insert it into the wire feed tray, and tighten the screw. Next is the wire feeding hose and wire feeding assembly installation tutorial. First loosen the top wire on the wire feed assembly, pull out the wire feed extension tube, unscrew the rear end nut and insert the wire feed hose into the port. Tighten the nut and tighten the top screw with an Allen key. Finally, according to the actual use requirements, adjust the telescopic length of the wire feeding extension tube, and use an open-end wrench to lock the nut. 5. Installation tutorial of wire feeding components. First, put the selected wire feeding copper nozzle into the wire feeding extension tube, then use 2 M3 screws to fasten the wire feeding assembly to the welding head, and then extend the wire feeding extension tube so that it just touches the copper nozzle. Tighten the nut again with an open-end wrench. Adjust the wire feeding angle by adjusting the screw at the connection, and lock it with an Allen wrench. Finally, check and fix each connection with an open-end wrench and an Allen wrench to complete the installation of the wire feed assembly. 6. Airflow adjustment. First, turn on the manual blowing. The recommended protective gas for our products is nitrogen or argon. Then adjust the airflow between 15 and 25 liters per minute, and finally close the manual blowing to finish the airflow adjustment. In the process of use, the flow rate of the manual regulator can also be implemented according to the actual relevant process requirements. 7. Tutorial on the use of welding copper nozzles. The inner corner nozzle is used for inside corner welding without wire feeding. 2 PCS of 1.2 mm wire feeding nozzle is compatible with 0.8 to 1.2 mm wire, can be used for inside corner welding, outside corner welding and butt welding. 1 PCS of 1.6 mm wire feeding nozzle is compatible with 1.2 to 1.6 mm welding wire, the same is suitable for inside corner welding, outside corner welding and butt welding. The outer corner welding nozzle can be used for outside corner welding and butt welding without wire feeding. 1.2 mm outer corner wire feeding nozzle is compatible with 0.8 to 1.2 wire, and can be used for outside corner welding and butt welding. 1.6 mm outer corner wire feeding nozzle is compatible with 1.2 to 1.6 mm welding wires, it can be used for outside corner welding and butt welding. 8. Replacement of cutting functional components. First remove the 2 screws here with an Allen wrench, then remove the wire feed assembly and save it. Then the cutting nozzle is rotated and installed on the cutting base, and then the original welding copper nozzle is removed and stored. Finally, the cutting copper nozzle part can be rotated and installed on the extension tube. 9. Replacement of weld seam cleaning functional components. First, remove these two screws with an Allen key. Take out the wire feed assembly and store them together. Unscrew the nut by turning it, remove the extension tube, and save it. Insert the weld seam cleaning nozzle and secure the nut. 10. Replacement of remote cleaning functional components. First, remove the two round head screws from the focusing mirror drawer and set the screws aside. Then remove the remote cleaning lens drawer for use. Slowly remove the focus lens drawer on the gun body. Carefully place the remote cleaning lens drawer in again. The removed focusing lens drawer, please pay attention to dust-proof storage. Then lock the two round head screws and make sure they are locked. Then remove the 4 screws on the original head. Remove the original head. Pull out the top pin and install it on the original head. Align the pin holes on the top of our remote cleaning nozzle with the pins. Insert. Then fix and lock the removed screws. Finally, save the 4 insulated wire sleeves, the insulating plate, the drawer, and the removed header. To ensure that when using other functions, it can be replaced. Then replacement is completed.